Through a steadfast dedication to justice and service, renowned civil rights and personal injury attorney Benjamin Crump has established himself as one of the nation's foremost lawyers and advocates for social justice. He worked on some of the most high profile cases in the United States, representing the families of Trayvon Martin, Michael Brown, Stephon Clark, Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, say their names, as well as the residents of Flint, Michigan, who were affected by the poisoned water of the Flint River. He has been nationally recognized as one of the most influential people of 2021 by Time 100, the 2014 NNPA Newsmaker of the Year, the National Trial Lawyers Top 100 Lawyers, and Ebony Magazine Power 100 Most Influential African Americans. In 2016, he was designated as an honorary fellow by the University of Pennsylvania College of Law. His book, published in October of 2019, Open Season, Legalized Genocide of Colored People, reflects on the landmark cases he has battled and how discrimination in the courthouse devastates real families and communities. He's the founder and principal owner of Ben Crump Law. He is a role model, one of the hardest working people in the law, and someone that I've had the pleasure of observing do his thing. It is my distinct honor and pleasure to welcome for tonight's event our keynote speaker, the one and only Benjamin L. Crump, Esquire.
Thank you very much, Attorney Dawkins. Thank you again to Ms. Vanessa Brown for the invitation to be here and greet you all at the Morris County chapter of the NAACP on your 90th anniversary theme, Keeping It Moving. As I was saying, that's exactly what I am attempting to do every day when I wake up and I assume my mission in life that God has placed before me, and that is to be an unapologetic defender of Black life, Black liberty, and Black humanity. And in doing that, Attorney Dawkins, we try to do many of the things that you all have been doing for 90 years, and that is to go give a voice to those without a voice, to try to fight for those who are being marginalized, disenfranchised, and victimized. Much like when I come to you this evening with a heavy heart, because Ms. Brown, I was just in Minneapolis with the parents of Amir Locke, the young man who you all may have seen was laying on his cousin's couch sleep in the wee hours of the morning when the police executed what I believe to be an unnecessary, unjustifiable, and an unconstitutional execution of a no-knock warrant that caused him to be shot at least 3 times, maybe as many as 5 times. His mother and father believed that Amir did not even know who was in the apartment who shot and killed him, went to his grave not knowing. And so it's just a heavy heart when you think about the fact that this is Black History Month, and we should learn from history so we don't continue to repeat the same mistakes that we made in the past. Minneapolis Police Department was supposed to ban no-knock warrants after our sister Breonna Taylor was killed 2 years ago as a result of another unconstitutional, I believe illegal, execution of a no-knock warrant. Because remember, Attorney Dawkins, the police officers lied on the probable cause affidavit to get the judge to sign the no-knock warrant in Breonna Taylor's case when they said that the postmaster had told them that Breonna had received several suspicious packages. When the truth of the matter, the postmaster said he did not ever tell the police that. She only received 2 packages that year, and they both were from Amazon and UPS. and there was nothing suspicious about them. But yet they busted in her front door at 1 o'clock in the morning and mutilated her, Miss Brown, with 9 bullets while she was practically naked in her nightgown in her own apartment. And when we represented Breonna Taylor, we look back at the 2 years prior to this tragedy of how many people they executed these no-knock warrants on. And not surprising, but very, very alarming, we found that 82% of all of the no-knock warrants that were executed in Louisville, Kentucky, 2 years prior to Breonna Taylor being killed were on African-American families. And Ms. Brown, 68% of the time, they found nothing. They busted open their front doors, violating the Fourth Amendment rights against unreasonable searches and seizures, and found nothing. And imagine the psychological effect that left on these families of color. The people who were supposed to protect and serve them was busting in their house, pointing guns at them. And so, regrettably, because they didn't learn the lesson of Breonna Taylor, we now have another unjust killing of an innocent young Black person to discriminatory and reckless police policies. And I believe we can do better. We are not against police. We're against bad policing who use excessive force and act unreasonable in doing their duties that leads to us being killed. I mean, I just did an interview earlier today, as you know, Ms. Brown, and they were saying, well, do you think the police should be charged, though he didn't mean it? And I scratch my head often, and I say, they just really don't think our children's lives matter at all. I mean, oh, they want to say, oh, my bad, he was innocent. His name wasn't on the search warrant, so let's just forget about it. But we can't forget about it because Amir was real. Amir was one of our brightest hopes for the future, just like Breonna Taylor, just like Trayvon Martin, just like Tamir Rice, just like Atiana Jefferson, just like George Floyd, just like Pamela Turner, just like Alton Sterling, just like Eric Gardner, just like Stephon Clark, just like so many of our brothers and sisters who we have come to know as hashtags. You see, we have to continue to remember it is our duty, as you all know so well, Morris County branch of the NAACP, that we must always speak truth to power every chance we get. Martin Luther King said, the coward asked the question, is it safe? He said expediency asked the question, is it politically correct? And then he said vanity comes along and asked the question, is it popular? But then Dr. King said conscience comes along and asked the question, is it right? And Dr. King said there comes a time when one must take a position that's neither popular nor politically correct or not even safe. He said, there comes a time, Attorney Dawkins, when one must take a position because their conscience tells them it is the right thing to do. I submit to you, it is the right thing to do to speak up for our children's future. It is the right thing to do for us to stand up for our children's future. And brothers and sisters, it is the right thing to do for us to fight for our children's future. And we have to be prepared to fight until hell freezes over. And then, Ms. Brown, we got to be ready to fight on the ice. because that's how important. Our children have to know we believe in them and we believe in their futures. And we say Black Lives Matter, we really believe it. And we just don't want to say it and it be rhetorical. No, we want our actions to let our children know that we believe in them, that they represent our future. They're the best thing that we have to offer the world, that they are the answer to the dreams of the slaves in the cotton fields that survived slavery, to produce generation after generation to see this day when you will see someone as outstanding as Attorney Dawkins using his legal education and his acumen to uplift the community. You will see Ms. Brown using her leadership to uplift the culture. That's what this fight is about, for our children to know, based on empirical evidence, based on documented history, that we spoke up for them, we stood up for them, and we fought for them. And we will continue to do so no matter what. I know from technical difficulties, I'm coming to you all a little later than usual, so I wanted to condense my thoughts. But I will say this in conclusion. My personal hero, Thurgood Marshall, said at the 200-year celebration of the signing of the U.S. Constitution, and it was somewhat controversial for whatever reasons, but that's why he's my personal hero, because he never wilted. He always spoke truth to power, no matter who the audience, even if it was the United States of America and him speaking from the Supreme Court. Justice Marshall said that the basis of the American Constitution is simply this: that a Black baby born to a Black mother, the most uneducated Black mother, the most inarticulate Black mother, the most impoverished Black mother, has the same exact rights as a white baby born to a white mother, the most educated white mother, the most articulate white mother, the most affluent white mother, just by virtue of that baby drawing its first breath as an American citizen. Now, Justice Marshall said, I know that's not the case in America today, but I challenge anybody to say that's not a goal worth fighting for. I challenge anybody to say that's not what makes America the great beacon of hope and justice for all the world to marvel. So when we stand up for the George Floyds of the world, and we stand up for the Breonna Taylors of the world, and we stand up for the Ahmaud Arbery's of the world, and the Trayvon Martins of the world, and more importantly, when we stand up for the unknown Trayvons and the unknown Breonnas and the unknown George Floyds, when we stand up for whom my grandmother would commonly refer to using the biblical reference, when we stand up for the least of these, what we are really doing is helping America live up to its creed. What we are really doing is helping America be the great beacon of hope and justice for all the rest of the world to marvel. But what we are really doing, my brothers and sisters of the Morris County chapter of the NAACP in the great state of New Jersey, what we are really doing is helping America to be America for all Americans, and that our children have an equal opportunity at life and liberty and the pursuit of happiness. And so I thank you with my whole heart, NAACP, for your 90 years of leadership, service, and uplifting the culture and the community there in New Jersey. God bless you all. I pray your strength.
We cannot thank you enough. If you are in your seat and your heart rate isn't 10 times what it was before Mr. Crump came through, you might want to check your pulse. We can't thank you enough for all you do, sir. We are certainly proud of you. We are certainly cheering you on. And we're grateful. We're grateful that you put your life, your reputation, your work on the line every day for us, right? To get us that much closer to a more perfect union. God bless you, and thank you for spending time with us here tonight.
Thank
Thank
you
you,
all.
Attorney.
Congratulations.
Thank you.